Howdy ho, 2P race fans. We're here at Circle City in Indianapolis, Indiana. It's kind of chilly, a little windy. It's supposed to warm up though. But we got the Super Street out. Gonna do some practice out here. Looks like we got a little bit of everything out here. Not many yet. It's supposed to be, I don't know, like 60 degrees today. Maybe up to 64. Windy. Chance, a little chance of rain. But we're going to get this thing unloaded. And let's see here. Hot laps, they say start at 1. And right now it's like, I think it's like 20 after 12, 12:30. So, but we did make it. We're here. And we will be back here in just a little bit after we get the car unloaded. See when we're able to go out, get some video. Hopefully the car runs good. Hopefully the new shocks up front and in the back do us some good. I know the steering box is going to do wonders here because last year it didn't do crap with the old one. So we'll walk up there to the track. How about that? We'll let these guys not unload it yet, but get it ready to. But we'll walk up there to the track real quick, take a look at it. They have done some extensive work this year at the track. They so what my understanding is they put a smaller track inside the track, the big track, and they are going to run maybe like mini sprints or something. I don't know what they run on in a little track, but he's trying to get a lot more classes here. There's some there are some tracks that has closed down this year, like my track, Mount Pillier. I don't think they're running this year. If they do, it's going to be a late start. Gas City, Indiana, it is up for sale from my understanding. But let's see what we got here. We're almost there. This is a pretty nice facility. He got it, let's see here, not last year, the year before. Came in, ripped up a lot of the dirt, put new dirt down. Has been really working the track. Great guy, Eddie Van Meter. Not too much banking here. I mean, there's a little bit, but not much. So there is a little track there in the middle. Kind of, it's flat. I don't know if you really call it a track or just got some tires there to run in circles, but this is the track. Looks pretty good. I mean, I know nothing's ran on it yet, but I know they've been working on it. Then we had all that rain. We had a ton of rain. We were supposed to actually practice yesterday, but they canceled it. So we're here today on the Sunday. I think it's going to be a good day. I think it's going to be a good day. So, with that, I will shut her down for a minute, get the car unloaded, and we will be back with maybe some information on when we can get out there. Talk to you a bit. Alright, we're back for a few minutes. Just got done with the little driver's meeting up there. Got all my paperwork filled out. Got my transponder. I got my tire guy right there. Oh, Hunter. He's going to put my transponder on, I think. They're getting ready to send the sprint cars out, big wide tires out there to run the track in, and then we're going to start lining them up and giving her hell. So try to sleeve some dirt. Hopefully it handles well. We did change the shocks. We we got it on the scales. We changed some numbers. So we'll see how it works. I'm still missing my right rear shock. It won't be until tomorrow, unfortunately. I tried to get it here yesterday, but it didn't come, and it'll be here Monday. So that's the only shock that I'm lacking, but we'll make her do. Hopefully that new left rear shock really helps out a lot. But we got the tires aired up. Had it running for about 15 minutes, so I mean, it's not all the way warmed up, but it's got a little bit of heat in it. And I'm going to get off of here again, get my jacket on, get the helmet on, and get my race receiver, and see you out there on the track. Over and out. Pure stock action. Like they're getting about now between 17 and 18 seconds. Oh, there's a 16.8. Now they're getting faster now. About 16.9, 16.8. Head back to the pits and get ready to go back out. I did make a few adjustments. just a couple turns in the left rear, put a turn and a half in it. So we'll go back out there and see if that helps out a little bit. I don't know what the times were on my last session, but we're going to compare it to those pure stocks because they're kind of getting it, but they are from my understanding down south in southern Indiana, and they have some different rules than what our pure stocks are, and their rules are actually close to what our super streets were up north. Look at these little guys, they're getting it. Look at that, 14.9. That's nice. I think these are 600s, micro sprints or something like that. 14.5. 14.4. Nice. So we're going to go back out there here in just a few minutes and see what kind of lap times we can put down. And then I think we're going to get back to the pits after my session, and probably going to load up, go home. I got to work tonight, so but the car did feel good the first practice session, and I just made a little bit of adjustments. If it helps, it helps. If it doesn't, then I'll put it back, and then we'll come back Friday night. This coming Friday is opening night here. And we will see how it goes. Oh no, they locked me out. Oh no. Well, we're gonna have to cut her short and find out how to get back to the pits. Talk to you guys later. City race fans. This is Monday, the next day. Got the car unloaded, back from Circle City Raceway. It was kind of a really quick teardown yesterday as far as getting the truck loaded back up, getting the car loaded. Big storm came through, so we had to hurry up and get everything done. But recap of yesterday, man, it was a pretty good day, I will say. Car didn't handle too bad. I made an adjustment, totally wrong adjustment. Went back out there. I don't know if it was tight or loose. I don't know yet. I'm learning that terminology. But I got it pushed up a little bit. Got what they call the marbles, the loose stuff, and I hit the wall. Not very hard. You'll see it on the videos. But right front flat, destroyed that tire, big old gaping hole in it. Bent the rim a little bit. Got it back in pitch, changed it, reversed what I did, and it helped out a little bit. But they were the one thing is they were trying to keep the track up, getting everybody a good surface to practice on. So they were watering it quite frequently. So making adjustments or trying to dial your car in was a little hard. But I mean, like I said, we done pretty good. I'm gonna pull the car inside the garage, inside the shop, and we'll be right back with some more updates. Not that I like the updates. I've already got a lot of backlash off of it, and that's okay. In this sport, you will have a lot of backlash. Ain't nobody ever going to be happy. Somebody's always going to be complaining about something. Somebody's cheating here, somebody's cheating there. It ain't fair here, it ain't fair there. I followed the rules. This person's not following the rules. But we're going to get back to that. I'm going to do a little talk test. Let's call it that, a talk test. The seat's a little wet. But we'll do a little talk tech here in a minute when I get everything in the garage. I'm going to go through, let everybody know what we got to do before Friday. Today's Monday. Race day is Friday. I do not like to finish my car on Friday. I like to finish it on Thursday. That way, when I do a final look, maybe I overlooked something. Maybe something happens and I've got to use that Friday for a quick, to get it ready. But that kind of gives me a day rather than having a whole bunch of stuff to do on Friday and then something happened. But I'm going to pause this video. I'm going to pull the car in the garage and we'll be right back, folks. Stay tuned. Okay, we got it in the shop. So what we're going to do a little, like I said, we're going to do a tech talk. Not a tick talk, a tech talk. My boy got his four-wheeler going. He's all excited about it. I'm excited about it. Been down for a while. Neighbor boy helped him out. CDI box. Come down to it with CDI box. He knows all about that stuff. I don't even know enough about this racing. But okay, tech talk. Here we go. Well, I'm trying to rummage around and do a few other things. So here's the deal. I went down to Circle City Raceway Park. As everybody knows from previous videos, that Mount Pillier, the track that I used to go to, is not opening this year. I have heard all kinds of stories. I am not going to put nobody's name out there. I'm not going to bash anybody. It's all hearsay as far as I know. I don't know the truth. I don't know if it's a lie. So it's none of my business, really. I like the track. A lot of people like the track. The guy that was running the track last year, as far as I know, I have been in contact with him. He's told me some of the story, but there's always two sides to every story. But he had done a ton of work through the fall and through the winter. On good days, we had a very, very mild winter. Yes, it was cold, but not a lot of bad weather. I mean, of course, it was winter. So he put a lot of time and effort in the track. But anyways, I don't think he's going to open this year. If he does, it's going to be a late opener, probably just a few special occasions. Try to recoup some money that he's probably in the middle of losing. Anyways, so I go down to Indiana Raceway, or Circle City Raceway. You know, there was not a whole lot of us there. As far as the class that I went there as, there's a little hint. So here's the deal. Indiana is super, super weird, in my opinion. My car, I bought off of a chassis builder. I am not going to put his name out there either. If you know, good for you. I'd rather not mention his name. I have mixed feelings about it. Let's just put it that way. Some good, some bad, but I'm not even going to get into it. But this car right there is a UMP street stock, completely legal for UMP. I can go to Illinois and I can race it over there. I would have to change the carburetor. I had to put a 2-barrel on it, and that's it. But everything else is completely legal on it. Okay, so I bought it. I paid some good money for it and to get it all completely done. I raced at Mount Pillier last year. Didn't have very good luck with it. Got it fixed twice. It is completely fixed, 100% A-OK. I wouldn't be in it if it wasn't. But it is completely back the way it was when it came off the jig. With that being said, since Mount Pillier isn't opening this year, I was looking for another track. I went down to Lincoln Park Speedway a couple weeks ago. I have the videos posted on that too. Practicing. Tech guy came over. I always call the tech guys over, especially these new tracks, because every track has different rules. And it's so annoying. I'm just throwing it out there. It's really, 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 really annoying to me. Okay, so here's the deal. I go to Lincoln Park. My little stand on the back of my phone messed up, so I got to figure this out because I don't want to keep walking around. I heard people, it's giving people anxiety because I'm walking around too much. So let me move this box here and we'll get her set up here for a minute. Let me get my lounge chair here. Let's see if I can set this up to where it's looking at the chair. Oh yeah, look at that. He acts like I'm a star of the show. Okay. So here it is. I go down to Lincoln Park, and he said, "Hey man, what class are you planning on running?" I said, "Super Street." He goes, Indiana Super Street? I said, "Sure. I mean, every track always calls stuff different." He goes, "Oh, okay. Well," and he points to this car. He goes, "That is an Indiana Super Street." I think that's what they call them. Indiana Super Stock, maybe. That's what it's called. Anyways, I said, okay. I said, man, I thought that was a late model. I'm not too big to do it, but from a distance, you know. He goes, okay, so it's like a miniature version of a late model. A lot of people call them sportsmans. As soon as he said sportsmans, I knew what he was talking about. Because back in the day, that's what people called sportsmans. It was like an in-between a Super Street, what I got, and a modified, I'm going to say. That's about as close as I could think. Because the modifieds yesterday was turning like 14.6. The Indiana Super Stock that was there, the couple of them, they were like 15.2, 15.3. So they were a little slower, about 3/4 of a second slower. Well, that's big on a quarter-mile track. So anyways, he said, if you want to run here, I'll let you run like 2 nights. But you're going to have to change that body. I ain't changing my body. I ain't doing it. Ain't nobody going to tell me to change my body. Well, he said, if you want to run here with these boys, you're going to have to change that body because we have specific rules. And I said, well, if I change my body, then I am stuck here. There's a couple other tracks down south. I said, I can't do that, man. I said, I'm trying to, maybe not this year, but maybe next year, see how this year goes. It's a struggle already this year, and it ain't even started. But maybe as the year progresses, it'll get better. But anyways, he said, okay, well, so he looked my car over. He said, what you basically have here is a Southern Indiana factory stock. There's another new name. I said, okay. He said, however, you got weight jacks up front. And I said, yeah, it's a UMP. It is a UMP street stock. It's not a UMP bomber or thunder car or UMP street, factory stock, whatever you want to call them. It's a UMP street stock. He goes, well, those ain't allowed. Spring cups or bucket cups are allowed. The adjustable cups. I said, okay. Which later on I got to thinking. A weight jack, okay, has a cup on top between the spring and the lower A-arm. You crank that jack down and it lowers or raises. You know, you crank her down, it lowers. If you crank her up, it raises that up. Takes pressure off and tension off that spring. It either can load the spring or unload the spring. It messes with your cross weights. It can mess with your rear percentage. If you're tight, you can take a couple turns here and there and you can, you know, loosen it up a little bit with the track condition. It's an adjustment. Now, I'm going to say this, and a lot of people ain't going to agree with me, and that's okay. It's an adjustment, and if you make the right adjustment, which a lot of these boys have been around this for a long time, they know what to do. If you take a car out there and it wants to spin out every single turn, and you have a chance to either A, hurting yourself, hurting somebody, tearing up your car, tearing up somebody else's car, and these cars ain't cheap. So you have a quick alternative way to make an adjustment or a change to make the car handle better, to be safer on the track for everybody. Now, I said it. Now, a lot of people won't agree with me, but I said it. So, what's not allowed is a piece of all thread with a nut that's welded to the frame. It's a hole in the frame with a nut on it that you take it all thread, and it's got a plate on the bottom of that between the spring, and you can adjust it down or you can adjust it up. Okay? With those adjustable spring buckets, you jack the car up, get the tension off of it, and they spin inside. You know why they spin? I'll tell you why they spin. Because they've got a bolt or a piece of all thread that cup spins on, and it lowers or raises. It does the exact same thing. Exact same thing. But I am going to assume that maybe the adjustable spring buckets came out first, and some guy out there said, you know what? This is time consuming. Jacking my car up, doing this, lowering it down, taking measurements, jacking it back up, you know, until I get it right. I mean, well, why don't I just drill a hole to the daggum frame and put me a nut on the bit on it, and I could just do it up here, and it saves me a whole bunch of time. It's the same dang thing. And if it ain't, explain to me how it ain't the same. But nobody will. So that was the first thing. Second thing, he asked me, what size motor you got? I said, well, I'm not going to lie to nobody. I've got a 415. And he said, the motor, to me, isn't that important. And I'll tell you why he says that. I could put a 1,000 horsepower motor in this car, and I can go out there and I can get my butt waxed by a car that's got 500 horsepower. You know why? Because they can get that power to the ground and hook up while I'm just sitting there spinning my wheels for days, and I ain't gonna go nowhere. So yes, you can have a big old motor But if you got too much power, you're not going to go nowhere. The reason why the super late models, they've got 1,000 plus horsepower in their motors now. The reason why they can go faster and handle better, because they got freaking tires this wide. That's this wide. My tires are this wide. They got tires this wide. They got a whole bunch more traction. Their tire compound's different. The chassis is different. It rolls different. They've got, it moves different. They've got all this set up to make it do that. To make it get that power to the ground to get traction. We do not have that on these cars. Not supposed to. So he said, so here's the deal. This was at Circle City. Lincoln Park. We'll go back to Circle City here in a minute. Lincoln Park. He goes, okay, so I can't let you run here on the Bombers either because we allow roller tip rockers, but we don't allow full roller rockers. I ain't changing my roller rocker out on my car. People say, well, it's not that big of a deal. Well, it is to me because it's just a big deal to me. I don't want it, so it was set up by a professional. I am not a professional. It ain't gave me no problems yet. So I don't want to go change the stuff and think I'm a professional and I'm doing this adjustment and that adjustment and I'm, redoing my valves and everything and I mess it up and I blow the motor up. So I like not to do that. Is there advantage between a full roller rocker and a roller tip rocker? Technically, yes. Is it going to be shown? If a guy was getting beat by 10 cars every single week and he goes to the garage and says, I'm taking my roller tip rockers on and I'm putting full roller rockers on and I'm going to show them, ain't going to make that much of a difference. So anyways, so that's all right. I was just shaking the car down anyways down there at Lincoln Park. So I go to Circle City because that's where I plan on running. So they have the Indiana Super stocks there too. When I went up to the window, I didn't know that, number one. They asked me what class. I said, I guess it's a Super Street, what you call them here, blah, 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 blah. So they put me in that class. I went out with the guy, and he was much faster than me by like over a second, and that was expected. The tech guy came over to the car, was asking me all about it. He said, man, I see you got Hoosiers on there. I said, yeah. My class that I ran last year, we were allowed to run Hoosiers. He goes, well, we used to be able to run Hoosiers on what they call the Bombers or factory stocks, but they took that away from us this year. So everybody's on, even down south to Brownstown, Paragon, the places that have this Indiana stock rule. So anyways, I said, okay, well, I still got my old DOT tires. Actually, they're on the Iowa car. I said, I could swap them out. I said, he said, so, and that's when he asked me, what size motor I had and I told him. He goes, all right, well, here's the deal. Here's going to be a lot of you boys, a lot of tracks are losing due to certain things. These are new owners, they're sole owners. Eddie is the sole owner now of the track. I think it was like a 3-person mount. Now it's just him. And the tech guy said, man, I tech asphalt cars. And I'll be honest with you, last year, just a few shows, I helped tech dirt cars, and it's all new to me. I said, well, okay, well, all this is new to me too. So let's talk for a minute. So he said, your times are just a little bit faster than everybody else. He said, now this is also practice, and there's only 5 or 6, there's only a handful of us there. I said, okay. I said, well, what do you want me to do? I'm at your mercy. I want to race. This is the track that's closest to me. That way I can race that. What do you want me to do? He said, well, he asked me what size motor. I told him. He said, okay. I said, now, he asked me if I was on a 2-barrel or 4-barrel. I said, I got a 4-barrel on it, but it's a small 4-barrel. If anybody knows anything about cubic inch and motors like I got, I have a 650 Holly, Willys Holly. according to the math, it needs like an 863, like an 850. So I already have this dumbed down. That's what people don't understand. Yes, big motor, blah, 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 blah. Oh my God. It's not, I mean, it's a decent motor. It was built by a very, very reputable, engine builder over out west. But it is dumbed down. And the only reason why you put that 4-barrel in there is because it's better for the engine. 2 barrels, some of the cylinders don't get enough fuel because there's only 2 squirters. 4-barrel, you got 4 squirters, putting more fuel down in there, making it even more even distribution. People can fight with that on me all they want too. So that's why I put it on there, because I didn't want to hurt my motor. It didn't give me any gain. People think it's got gain. Tell you now, I won't say it doesn't give me any gain, but my Holley XP Ultra 2-barrel is almost 750 CFM, which is more than what this carburetor is, this 4-barrel. But you do get a little bit more fuel atomization, and it spreads out more evenly to hit all the cylinders evenly. So, I also said, okay, I also have a Falcon transmission. He says, well, Brownstown and Paragon allow that. Okay, sign that off. That's okay. He said, but the northern cars ain't allow that. Okay, so what are we going by here? They are right in the middle. Indianapolis is in the middle of the state, so they're in a pickle. They want the northern cars that the track shut down. They also want the Brownstown and the Paragon cars that race on Saturdays to come up there on Fridays, put on a good show for people. The more car count, usually you got the more people. I said, I don't have a floater, or I don't have a quick change rear end. They're quick changes this year. Just let everybody know. I don't have one. So the gear that I got is the gear that I got, no matter how the track changes or anything. That's the gear I got. I'm not one of these people that can pull my car in and say, hey man, I think we can use a little bit more gear, make it go a little bit faster, or we need to take a little bit more gear out because I'm sitting there burning the tires off and I ain't going nowhere, and this will slow me down a little bit on the ratio to get me traction, make me faster still. I don't have that adjustment. I have a completely stock length rear control arms. They are tubular, but they're stock length. They're not shortened, they're not altered, they're not sliders, they're not whatever. What else? I said, I told that tech guy, he said, so they had a little tech talk up there too after practice was done. All the drivers came up there, and he pulled me to his side, and he pulled that Indiana super stock to the side, and that boy's been racing for a long time, 30 years I think. And he was talking to him and I. He said, you guys are the guys here, so this is what I got to make my decision off of. The thing that I liked is he didn't make his own personal decision. He came to the racers. That's what I like. That's the way it should be. Just like the government. It's for the people, you know. But anyways. Well, here comes up another feller walking up. And by God, wouldn't you believe it was Lee Hobbs. Great chassis builder. A lot of people don't like him because he wins a lot. But he's been building cars all his life, racing all of his life. It's what he does. He doesn't have a job. That is his job. He's been building chassis for I don't know how many years. He's been racing for I don't know how many years, but that's his life, and that's how he makes his living. Cool. He travels, he hits all the big shows, and he is a top contender. So he's like, hey, this other racer, he's like, hey, get Hobbs over here. We're all going to have this discussion together. So he come over there, and he started asking me about he knows about my car, and I'll tell you why he knows about my car, because he fixed my whole front end for me. Last year when I spun out and a car hit me, I took it down to him, and he fixed it all up for me. Done a phenomenal job. Thank you, Lee, for that. He says, I know everything about this car. I looked it all over. He said, I'm a chassis builder. This is another chassis builder. It was in my shop, so I looked it over. Duh. he wants to see what the competition's doing. I don't really care what he did. I just wanted my car fixed. So anyways, he said the front jacks doesn't make any difference between weight jacks and those spring adjustable spring cups. They do the exact same thing. Okay. He asked me about my times. The tech guy told him. He said he puts DOT tires on that car, and he's going to be right with them boys. What that was here today. That doesn't mean that if you know another 10 or 15 show up, another 10 or 15 is going to smoke everybody's hind end that was out there. But he said, DOTs are going to slow it down a little bit. It's a lot harder tire compound. They don't get as much grip. He also said that they are taller than a Hoosier. I haven't really checked that out, but we can here in a minute. And he asked me about my transmission, and he said, there we go again. Southern Indiana, that you want to pull these boys up here, allow it. The northern boys, they don't allow it. So what are you going to do? What are you going to do, tech guy? You're going to piss everybody off up north because you allow it, and they're. He said, I've seen automatic transmissions. I've seen Saginaw 3-speeds. I've seen 2-speed power glides. All hang with these transmissions. Okay. Yes, they are lighter. Yes, they have less rotating mass, so you get a little bit more power and torque to the rear wheels. But he said it's a cost thing. He said I could take a 3-speed Saginaw, and by the time I get all the new bearings and the new bushings and all the clean everything up, new gaskets, got to get me a new clutch or new clutch plates, and maybe a new hydraulic throwout bearing. He said if I want a whole setup, okay, I'm going to have just as much in that Saginaw 3-speed after I buy it for, even if I bought it for 150 or 200 bucks, okay, I want it gone through. So I'm going to have to pay somebody, if I don't know how to do it, I'm going to have to pay somebody their labor charge, a kit to do those, or like, I don't know, $150, $200, whatever, for bushings and bearings and all that good stuff. So I got to pay a guy $100, $150 to do it. So, okay, so let's just make it $350 bucks for the parts and labor and everything. I bought it for $150. Let's just do $150 so that way we come up with even $500. Okay? Well, now I got to get a clutch. Okay? Well, a decent clutch to hold up to racing is between $300 and $500. Depends on what the track wants. If you get a 7 1/4 inch tilt and triple disc, it's like $700, $800. If you get the single disc, great big boy, they're still a couple $100. Let's just say $250. That's probably on the cheap side, but let's just say $250 for a decent one that's going to hold up. So now you got $750 in it. Okay. Now you need a hydraulic throwout bearing or whatever. There for a new one, you can use a used one if you want, but if you want all new, we're talking new here. $130. Okay. I can't remember where I'm at now. $630, $650. Let's just call it $650. So now I got $650 in this transmission. I bought this transmission for $550. It wasn't new. It was used. But I bought a rebuilt kit, new gaskets, new seals, new clutches. Didn't take very long to there's not much to these transmissions. I think I was charged $100 to tear it down, clean it up, put it back together. So I've got the same amount of money in it, but if something happens to this transmission, let's say the clutches go out, for $150 or $200, I can get another kit, just the clutches, and have old boy put them in, and I'm back to going. If you smoke one of those clutches you're at 250. If you need a throwout bearing, you're at 130. I mean, it actually saves money in the long run. These are a lot lighter. It does help out. But I told him that's what I have in it. I don't have another transmission. I sold it all. What do you do? What do you do if you're a tech guy? You want these guys to run, and you want them to mix together, and you want everybody to have a fair shot of winning. And you want everybody to put on a good show for the fans. I wouldn't want to be a tech guy. But he came to the racers, and I respect that. At the end of the day, he said, you throw DOT tires on your car. I said, okay. He said, I'm going to let you run. He said, not saying you will, but if you come out here and you lap everybody, it ain't going to happen again. We're going to have to figure out how to slow your car down. I want to be people to be competitive. Now and I understand that. Everybody wants to go faster than everybody else. That's how you win. I get it. But nobody wants to see the same car come out to the track, lap everybody in the whole entire field, keep winning. And actually, that turns a lot of people away. Because unless that car breaks down, you have no chance of winning. Now, you make cars competitive, comparable to everybody. Well, now you got a show on your hands. You got people fighting for the lead. You got lead changes. People passing back and forth. People battling for positions. It's just not always one-sided. He said, the first thing what we'd have to ask you to do is take that 4-barrel off. I'm going to let you leave it on. Because all the boys down south are going to have 4 barrels on it. He said, but if you come waxing everybody, we're going to have you take that 4-barrel off. We'll have put you a 4412 on it, 500 CFM. I said, okay, I agree. Because that will slow the car down. He said, if that slows you down 2 or 3 tenths of a second, and it makes everybody fighting and, for positions and make you guys competitive. Competitive, not compatible. I don't know that. Anyways, I said, man, I agree with everything he said. I am not a hard person to get along with. I just don't have the money to sit there and change everything that car already is. I don't have it. Some people do. I don't. So that's the tech talk. Now, yesterday I got several messages from a few different people. What class you running? What motor you got in that car? What's this? What's that? Well, how's that legal? How's this? How's that? I ain't going to run there. I showed them the time slips. I said, man, in this one session, I was 3 tenths faster than the cars that was currently there. Because after the tech talk, they let people go back out. Some other guys showed up. By the end of the sessions, all the sessions were done. I was not the fastest car out there. With everything I got done to that car, Hoosier tires and everything, I was 4th fastest. Out of, I think there were seven cars altogether. I was 4th fastest. So you know what that tells me? I don't know what them other boys got, but they got the hook up and they got their suspension down and they are faster than me, and I ain't going to beat them unless something happens to them. Can I be competitive? Sure, I can be competitive. Maybe the track conditions changed. Maybe the track condition was just right for their car. Maybe if it changed, maybe it'd be right for this car. But I know one thing, I'm not going to walk away from anybody. I'm not going to sit there and lap everybody like it happened last year there. That's what the whole concern is. So, with that being said, folks, you can't please everybody in life. You can't. You can try, and all you're going to do is you are going to diminish your health, your mental health, by trying. But you cannot do it. No matter how hard you try, you cannot please everybody. It doesn't matter what you do. So this is what we're going to do. As of today, that car is no longer a Super Street at Circle City. It is a Indiana factory stock. We're going to throw some DOTs on there. I got to make a couple of the adjustments. Number one, let's Let's see if I can get up. Oh, yeah. Number one, let's just see. Oh yeah, I got my tire. I got a Hoosier right here. These are the DOT tires that I run on the Iowa car. Now people said they're a little taller and it makes things different on the gearing ratio. And look at that. That is taller. Can you see that? That is probably good. Well, from here to, that's probably a good inch taller, maybe an inch and a half taller. So, and the rubber compound is made for asphalt roads to live up to 30 to 50,000 miles or 75,000 miles. These Hoosiers ain't for that. The compound for Hoosier tires are specifically for dirt, unless you get asphalt tires. So, let's see here. So, I did hit the wall. I'll post the video here in a minute. This old girl, I beat and banged this thing. This original body that I had on it when I wrecked it the first time. When I wrecked it the second time, I beat it all out there in my parking spot there, and well, she's still going. She just got a little scuff mark there. But we're gonna look her over, make sure nothing else has been underneath. I mean, heck, it don't even line up right there anymore. But that's okay. Need to tighten up that boat. But that's okay. I'm not all about being fancy. Fancy makes it look good, but fancy don't make you win races. So, yep, I got these DOT tires. I think, let's see here. The front one's new. Still got the blue on it. That back one's new. Looks like this one is fairly new. This one is a different brand. This is a beadlock. That might be for the right rear. So it's not going to cost me anything to change the tires over. It does kind of suck because I put all the effort and everything in these tires, but that's okay. If I go to Kokomo, they run these cars. So I'll be able to change the Hoosiers back over as long as the car's in good shape for, let's say, the whatever they have there at the end of the year. We'll throw some Hoosiers back on there. Now that we got the steering, and we'll have a good setup, and we'll go out there and we'll try to give her hell there. And in the shop, well, this is just a catch-all shop. I got another new tire here, another tire here. I don't know what this is, but it is a tire. So I've got a few tires left. Oh, got a few tires left. I even got this here. This is new. So, and I got this dude here. By God, I got tires everywhere still. DOT tires. So that's good. In a way, I didn't want to change because they don't pay as much, but I like racing. This tire here, I think it's good, but the beadlock sucks. But I can change that out. So yeah, I got plenty of tires and so forth. But I know this is kind of a longer video. I'm putting all of it together for yesterday's and today's. I don't know if a whole lot of people will watch it or not, but that's okay. I'm trying to just help people out, explaining stuff to them. I try to do this for I know my son at his school, I have a lot of subscribers from his school, kids. They think it's cool that his dad's on YouTube and everything. And I got some fellow racers that watch it and stuff, but if anybody disagrees with me, I don't turn hatred to people. I don't hold grudges, or I don't dislike you because you disagree with me. That's the American way, man. We live in America. We can always agree to disagree. I have no problem with that. So with that being said, if you are a fellow racer and you watch this, I appreciate it. I appreciate all the support. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't make no money off this. I've got everything set up to start making money, but I can't figure it out. It shows how much I'm earning, but I can't get it. And once I get everything linked, all that goes away anyways, because it's not linked yet. And they say once you link it, then it starts all over. So, I mean, it's not a whole lot. It's not like old Cletus McFarlane, you know. I'm not getting $25,000, $30,000 a month. That's what it says he's getting. He gets a lot more on merchandise and stuff. Speaking of merchandise, here in a couple weeks, I will have finally something to sell. They are just drink tumblers. I went up to town here in Frankfurt. They had a little farmer's market deal. And I bought a couple tumblers, and I talked to this nice old lady. And she said she'd be willing to help me out. She's kind of local. She's about, I don't know, she's about 20 miles from here. And I said, well, all right. I said, I could start doing some business with you. So we'll have some tumblers. They're kind of nice. I got one that at Caterpillar. Looks like an oil filter. Fuel filter, oil filter. But I'll have some of those for sale here in the next couple weeks. If anybody wants them, I know you don't know what they look like, but it's nothing fancy. But it is a pretty good, you know, they're a nice tumbler. I think they come with a aluminum straw or whatever to make the drink feel colder or something. I don't know. But anyways, they'll be, I believe, $25. I tried to keep the price down. That's why I have not gotten any shirts, hats, or nothing. I've had lots of people ask me about them. But I can't find anybody that will make me a shirt or hat to where, you know, I don't want to charge $30 for a shirt. I don't want to charge $40 or $50 for a hat. But man, I mean, when they're selling them to you for $25 a hat, then you got to pay a little bit of shipping on it or taxes on it, and you got $30 in it. You're not making nothing, even at $5 a piece, to help jive a little bit on the cost of racing. You know, that's why we sell merchandise stuff. It helps just a little bit. But I'm selling the Lookout. I got another guy that he's going to hook me up with some other stuff that he makes with a laser etcher. That's pretty cool. Uh-oh, what we got here? My son's crazy, man. Oh, no, that's the neighbor and his girlfriend. I don't know where my son is. I thought he was on his four-wheeler somewhere. Heck, it probably ain't got no gas in it. He probably done ran out of gas. She ain't got no gas in it. My other son's boring. He's up there on the porch. Sorry for my messy yard, but look at him on his phone doing nothing. Anyways, you always got that one oddball. Well, that's him. So anyways, yep, I'm going to get off of here, and without further ado, I think the way I have these positioned, because see, I'm still not good at all this video taking stuff. You've probably seen this last. I got everything in the middle. So I'm going to cut her short. We'll be back probably tomorrow with, you know, getting everything changed over. Tomorrow will be Tuesday. I got to get that all set up, switched over. Got to get it all cleaned out. Really need to get me a little toolbox put together. I went to the practice twice and I ain't even took a toolbox with me. The only thing I've taken is a ratchet for my weight jacks, take my tires off, and that's about it. It's kind of scary, but it's okay. So we're going to get a little toolbox done up, and we'll see you folks all tomorrow. You guys have a good day. God bless you.